What's up, everyone? God, I love that song as an intro song. It's actually so nice, eh? How you doing? How you doing, YouTube? What is up? It is the final day of the week, and after today, we head into the weekend, and usually, the weekend is a ranging environment. However, where are we going to range is the question. Of course, we don't know if we're going to range, but 90 out of 100 times, we actually just have a sideways structure in the weekend. But it is the final day. The markets are still open. New York is going to open in about 23 minutes. And we have some news at 4 p.m. as well over here. Friday the 12th, 4 p.m. Something going on over here, which I also, as always, have no idea what it is. But it is in the list of high impact, right? 3-star impact, 4 p.m. Central European time, which is in 50 minutes. So yeah, that might be very, very interesting. Locally, we eventually did see some weakness, double bearish CVD divergences here. The first one was actually not that interesting because of the 886 touch. The second one is more interesting, and now you have a double one. So yeah, the lows at 69.5, that's where price is heading to. So there is pretty much two scenarios that I have here locally at the moment that I'm looking at, which I'll of course talk to you about as well, which is either a flat or a finished WXY. And in both cases, you are looking for downside. And of course, the alternative is you actually take the double top and reach the resistance we have above. But I'll show that in more detail coming up. So yeah, and also hi, your preview is much louder than your voice. Maybe I have to up my voice or lower the volume of my preview. I gotta think about it. I can go to properties and 1 second here. Let me increase my filter. So now my voice should be higher, and I think this is pretty okay. No, I put it on. Hopefully, the quality of my voice is also still okay. So, yeah. So we're gonna talk Elliott Waves. We're gonna keep an eye on the local range, see what happens at 4 p.m. as well, as price is dropping here, and yeah, then we go into chatting and Q&A. I have, of course, some ideas for the 10,000 subscriber thing coming up as well. So yeah, exciting times. I'll talk a little bit about that as well. Jay Green, how you doing? Welcome, Mr. Seeb. Sarega, hi. Good to see you here. Rob Cromer from the other side of the world here as well. Mega Gandiman, you're born from Australia, which is on the other side again. Good to have you here. Sherry, long is a good option. No, I mean, no financial advice, but if price is dropping like this, in my opinion, that's gambling, unless you have a very clear plan of longing into these type of moves. But in my case, at the moment, I am very happy standing on the sidelines here and just waiting for proof of strength locally, which at the moment we don't yet have. We have double bearish CVD divergences, prices dropping, probably a little bit of volume coming in. A little bit of volume coming in. Never say never, but you need a plan. So if you can long according to your plan, you should take the long, because if you have statistics, right, and these statistics give you a X% win rate over 100 trades, losers are part of the job and winners are part of the job. So you just trade the statistics. So if you have a solid plan and solid statistics and your plan says long, you should long. But if not, and you don't have a plan or strategy, that would be step one. But I prefer to be very patient here. In my, at least that's how I currently observe this. Okay. So I put myself louder here. Give us a percentage. We're going to go through the analysis. We haven't even gone through the analysis. So we'll get there. We will get there, right? We'll get there. Antonia Avino, how you doing? We don't have any clues as to what scenario is currently playing out. On the 5 and 15 minute, I have two scenarios on the 15 minute, which I'll show. Hey King, looking for along around 69,400. Yeah, you do have some, like there is support here, but I always like to have proof of support. So if price reaches support areas, I want price to hold and show me, that it actually wants to move towards the upside. And that's different for different people. You can look at RSI, you can look at candlestick patterns, CVD, whatever. How long do your longs last on average? That is a question. So we will go into the analysis very soon, right? But this question depends on what I trade. If I trade my main, like my day trade strategy, then my longs, 50% of my longs take longer than a day to hit TP. I don't have my Excel sheet open with my statistics, so this is out of my mind. Actually, let me open this 1 second, because I have the stats. Let me have a quick look here. I don't know on which screen everything. Oh, that's the wrong Excel sheet. Mate, I have so many Excel sheets with statistics, and some of the names are so closely related to one another. I have no idea anymore. Where is the big this one? 1 second, checking. Okay. So, so 39% of the day trading strategy trades, long or short, take longer than a day to reach TP. And 22% between 12 hour and a day to reach TP, 19% between 6 and 12 hours, 7% between 4 and 6 hours, 6% between 3 and 4 hours, 5% between 1 and 2 hours, 2% between 30 minutes and 1 hour, and only 1% between 15 to 30 minutes reaching TP, which of course is very rare. So, yeah. There you go. Statistics. Gotta love it. Okay. That question answered. Let's get into it, no? Let's get into it. Okay. Let's start locally and then zoom out as we have a little bit of action, which is nice. So as mentioned, we had, let's see, the previous update was when price was somewhere over here. And we reached the 886, right? So if we pull a Fibonacci from the high to the low, toggle on the 886, then you can see price has hit the 886. Now the 886 increases probabilities to take the highest. Now you created a double top. We had bearish CVD divergences, but these at that moment in time are not yet too interesting. But then you get, again, bearish CVD divergences, and then you get they build upon one another. I forgot the nice English term, but they make each other stronger, right? So this one, not too interesting, 886 touch, bit meh. But then you get another one, even more locally, right? That one becomes interesting. So we have on blue a lower high on price, but a higher high on the CVD, not on yellow, right? Only on blue here. And prices at the moment moving down, a little bit of a volume increase as well. So at this moment in time, there's basically two scenarios, right? Let me actually move this to the bottom here. So there's two things that I keep an eye on. By the way, this local CVD, this one has now played out, right? We took the low, so that one is neutralized, right? So let me remove, let me actually put these in the CVD. Okay. Put that in the folder right there. So there's two things that I'm looking at here locally. First of all, you have a finished WXY structure, which is the bearish option. So let's start with that one. Wrong one. You have a flat zigzag, zigzag, right? So flat ABC, 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 WXY, sideways double combo corrective structure, where you're looking for move 1, move 2, and you want to see a third one that goes below the 67K lows in that case. Now, this is the bearish scenario, right? Either then we're looking for an ABC or a 1, 2, 3. Depending on the scenario, ABC would have a higher probability compared to a 1, 2, 3 because of the 4-hour scenarios. But we'll get to that because we start locally as we have some stuff going on here. What lowers the probabilities, however, is that the wave Y did not hit the 0.618. And the 0.618 trend-based sub-extension taken from the low to the high to the low over here is kind of like a minimum target for a wave Y. It's very unlikely for a wave Y to not hit the minimum target. Most common target for a Y is up here. The 0.618 is a common target. The 1.618 is an uncommon target. You won't see that one very often. But not hitting this area at all is not common. So that, of course, influences the probabilities of this particular scenario negatively. The alternative is, and that is more bullish, right, is a regular flat. Let me put this on the chart. Or take the highs. So a regular flat, take a fib from the high to the low of wave A. We have not the expanding flat, we need a regular flat target. Regular flat is a less common flat pattern. The 0.9 is a minimum target for a flat, which is reached, as you can see. But an expanding flat is the most common flat pattern, and the target for an expanding flat is in the box, which is quite interesting. But then, of course, we need to take the highs. Here we have a zigzag in A, zigzag in B, and we're looking for a 5-wave structure in a wave C. Now the target area for your wave C for a regular flat is pretty much at the target box that you see that I have here. Let's see, wave C, regular flat, there we go. The 0.618 is not really a target here at the moment, so the common target for your C is here. And you can see that the support box is part of the target area. So that is very interesting. And below the support box, there's not too much left. And then we would take the low pretty much. Right? There's not much support. If I open all of my folders here, then this is it. You have support, and below this, there's not much left there. So probabilities would increase. That's bullish scenario number 1. Because here you expect to take the lows, find proof of support, and move up towards the highs, right? Now, of course, a regular flat is less common than an expanding flat. So alternatively, we first take the highs, and all the price action we have here is still part of a B, but because of the double bearish CVD divergences, I wouldn't be surprised if we gun for the lows first. And then have to observe the reaction. Of course, with a wave C, we want to see a 5-wave structure. So if we get a C in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, preferably we see a wave 4 somewhere around or above this box. 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, and then continue, right? Because if you're going to go all the way down here and you didn't yet have a range, you would expect more downside and likely going to take these lows, no? So what does this mean for the higher time frames? So by the way, talking probabilities, because of the double bearish CVD divergences, probabilities are naturally higher to take this low, but on a zoomed out time frame, which is where we're going, probabilities remain higher for highs. Unlikely to do that before the weekend, actually. I was thinking about this. I think I said this in a live stream a couple of days ago where I was like, I don't think that this week, by the looks of how price is moving, we are going to see 74K plus. And I still believe that's not something that's going to happen. I have more interest in that happening next week instead of this week. We do have a little bit of bullish activity. You just saw it on the chart. I was very quick there cleaning up my chart, but you over here have a higher low in price and a lower low on yellow. But yeah, you have a double bearish one. Does get priority here. It's a double one. So okay, see what price gives us. 1 second. Ooh. Okay, zooming out. What does that mean? The lower time frames for the higher time frames, right? We're going to start on yeah, let's just start with the bottom here. Ooh, it's very bright. Sun shining in the Netherlands. Can't cope. Not used to sun in the Netherlands. Okay, short summary of the morning video. Scenario number 1 here being a flat, very attractive scenario with regards to trading psychology. Take the highs before the lows, create FOMO and greed, create panic and fear, bring it back up. On the high time frames with regards to the weekly, right, and the daily time frames, probabilities are much higher still and remain to take this high over here, right? First of all, because the probabilities are higher, this is a 3-wave structure instead of a 5-wave structure, meaning a corrective move instead of an impulsive move. If you really want to gun for lows, much lower prices, you want to start with an impulse. Secondly, because price touched the 886, rare for 2, I mean, the regular viewers will know this by now, but the 886 is rare for a wave 2, common for a wave B or X, meaning any move to the downside has a higher probability of being a C or Y, increasing probabilities to go back up and take the top. So that is what happens with the 886 touch. You do want to pull an 886 from a very clear high, like an ending structure and the start of a new structure, which is what we're looking at over here. 886 touch, high probability to take the high. I have a template, which is this one here, which is always interesting. After an 886 touch, it's actually quite common for price to move to the golden pocket, which it did once again, little bit of support, moving back up again. So yeah, quite interesting, no? But that is with regards to the probabilities. So we are looking for upside after this range is eventually finished, right? We look for the highs to be taken. At the moment, probabilities higher to take the highs before this low. But the flat is very interesting. Common target for wave B is up here, so we haven't reached it yet. Common target for wave C is over here, right? So we have 76.9 to 78.8K. And here we have 56.6K to 50.2K. And I especially like the psychology part of this scenario, which for me, that's the most attractive element of the flat scenario is the psychology of this, to be honest. So yeah. Let me cover, let me at least mention this, special mention to the 0.9. The 0.9, as mentioned just now, is a regular flat target. An uncommon flat pattern, as an expanding flat is by far most common, where the target area is here. That's just Elliott Wave probabilities for you, right? That's not my personal opinion. That is Elliott Waves. Most common flat pattern, expanding flat. B target is up here. Regular flat pattern is an uncommon flat pattern. 0.9 to the 105 is the target for a wave B in a regular flat. I just like to at least highlight that we have hit the 0.9. So we can't fully disregard a B being in and you look already for a 5-wave structure down. But at the moment, it doesn't have the highest probability from an Elliott Wave point of view because a regular flat is an uncommon target or an uncommon pattern. So we continue to observe what happens locally with regards to a regular flat. Now for the bigger flat pattern, right, where we are looking for upside in the B, we are observing a WXY, finished A, finished B, in B, WXY double zigzag, and therefore we look for an ABC to the upside, right, a three-wave move. This wave B either in or creating one more low, no problemo. So we're looking for a 5, 3, 5, 3 already in, and you look for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or you take these lows. Let me remove this one as well, by the way. And your common target for your wave C at the moment is similar to your target area in B. So that is quite interesting. Now in the morning, with the morning update, I spoke about this scenario and the importance and the probabilities of price actually taking this low. And we'll get to that in a second because the probabilities were high to take this low as this low was made above the 05 to the 786 area. I'm going to explain that in a second. So bullish scenario where we are not looking for a flat, but we look for continuation. Very unlikely that this is going to lift off before the weekend, as it's the final day of the, of the week, let's say, and then the weekend hits. Weekend tends to be rangy. You don't generally have a big wave 3 impulsive structure in the weekend, right? That's just probabilities from a weekend's perspective. So therefore, in this scenario, if we are looking for a bullish scenario where 2 is already finished, you preferably have a 1-2 weekend, maybe create some 1-2s on a Sunday, and then you lift off once Monday hits, right? Preferably not during the weekend. First scenario, of course, is that 2 is already in. Same with the wave B. Alternative scenario is that your wave 2 is still coming, right? From a probabilities perspective, and that's what I explained at the beginning, if you did not yet finish a wave 2 and this over here, this is the high and the end of the corrective structure, you're looking for a WXY continuation to the downside. This is a 3-wave structure in an ABC, so this then has to be the end of your corrective structure. The problem with this high is if we look for a WXY, this being a wave Y zigzag, even though a zigzag is completely valid in a wave Y, it didn't hit the 0.618 trend-based sub-extension taken from the low to the high of W to the low of X, which is very uncommon for a wave Y, decreasing probabilities for a WXY sideways double combo where wave Y finishes here, as it's just uncommon. So we can only check the probabilities, no? We had the double CVD. Just because of the double CVD, the first bearish one, not that interesting. The second one, a lot more interesting, right? That's the one, and now you have a double one that increased probabilities to see price moving down. That one has played out, and now the bigger one, of course, got more strength because of the smaller bearish CVD to possibly take this node. Now, let's talk about that one, because this is what happened in the morning update, where the 05 to the 786 area is not yet touched, which is the common area for a wave 2, in case we are looking for a double 1-2, right? 1-2, 1-2 continuation. Preferably, actually, a double 1-2 is a bit of a diagonal pattern. Right, so if you first 1-2, 1-2, maybe another 1-2, and then you go, where the second wave 1 takes the high of the first wave 1. It's not a requirement, it's not a rule, it's more like a guideline type of thing. When we were at 40 something K, we also had a couple of 1-2s which actually didn't create a diagonal, but they created the look of a triangle. So that can happen. So here we have, let me remove, oh well, that's quite, we have the 886 right over here, but let me remove that as that is not relevant at the moment. What is relevant here is that price moved down, hitting the 382 area. But the 05 to the 786 is the most common target area for a wave 2, which isn't yet hit. And just because it is not hit from a probabilities perspective, it would be nice if price hits this area before continuing to, to the upside from a 4-hour ranging perspective, as the probabilities are higher to move towards the upside. And we do have support here, which is this area, right around 69.1k, just above the golden pocket that we have here as well, right? Interesting area of support. Very nice. The only arguably bearish scenario, together then with the regular flat that I've shown earlier, right, where you look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside, lower probabilities for that scenario because a regular flat is uncommon. But then we have the triangle, A, B, C, D, E, lower probabilities as well compared to the flat and the bullish scenarios for 2 reasons. First, this wave B needs to be an A, B, C structure, as if one of the waves of a triangle needs 4 out of 5 waves to be a zigzag, 5, 3, 5, A, B, C. If one of the waves is not a zigzag, it tends to be a double or triple zigzag. It's always part of the zigzag family, and it tends to be C or D, by far most common. Therefore, B, you have to count it as an ABC, ABC. However, wave C only hit the 0.618 trend-based fib extension, taken from the low to the high of A to the low of B, which is a rare target for a wave C. That impacts the probabilities of this, right, being a finished ABC in your B. Is it possible? Yes, because the 0.618 is a target, but it's a rare target, negatively impacting probabilities for that particular scenario. And then in the wave C, we're looking for a 535 to the downside. And below price, like far below price, if we lose this support area here around 69.1, right, we have a bit of a gap here. There's not too much happening. I have 2 levels there, which is a daily naked point of control at 66.9k, and the red line is the point of control of this range. Those are the only 2 things that I have left, but I didn't make it a target box because these levels are pretty solo, as in there's no great confluence other than the single levels that I have here. So interesting, no? This support area all the way down here, 62.9, 61.8k. Then we want to see a D, E, and continuation to the upside. So to talk about probabilities and end the analysis to then go in chatting and Q&A, and also talk about some stuff I'm thinking about for the 10k that is coming up, is on a high time frame, weekly or daily time frame, the probabilities are incredibly high for continuation. Ranging, take the high. And there is 2 reasons as explained. 1, probabilities are a lot higher. This is a 3-wave structure because a 5-wave impulsive structure or diagonal structure doesn't really work here, and it's not a double 1-2. Higher probability for a corrective structure increases probability to sooner or later take the highs. Secondly, we touch the 886. The 886 is a rare target for a wave 2, common for a wave B or X. Any move that goes to the downside is a higher probability of a C or Y, increasing probabilities to go back up later and take the top. So from a trending perspective, right, from the 15k to where we are now, probabilities are a lot higher to continue that trend towards the upside. And this is just one of those ranges that we have as the bull market is evolving, right? The same as we had over here, same as we had over here, same as we have now, right? So I do realize I didn't show my weekly counts. If people are interested for the weekly count, write it in chat, but that's basically the conclusion of the counts as well, as we are still looking for price to move towards the upside. On the 4-hour time frame, which is this range, the probabilities, and let me show them because they're pretty much the same as the morning, remain higher for the flat/D bullish scenario over here. The flat structure is preferably this one, because oh man, if we get this, that would be so nice. But that's a personal opinion, that's not probabilities. But from a trading psychology point of view, this would be amazing. Take the highs, install FOMO and greed, hit the target area for wave B in a expanding flat, and an expanding flat A, B, C is the most common flat pattern, where B, the target area, is between the 1.236 and the 1.38, right? And then move it down in wave C impulsively and quick. A quick move to the downside, high volume, change the market structure and take the lows, take the liquidity, panic and fear, over here, panic and fear, and then bring it back towards the upside to continue the trend to higher levels, right? From a trading psychology point of view, it's my favorite, but we need proof of resistance. If price moves to the upside and reaches this area, we want to see proof of resistance, because it makes no sense whatsoever to randomly put orders in the book for short positions here in a bull market. Okay, like that's like, it's not a great idea unless it's somehow part of your plan. You know, then it might be a great idea. From an Elliott Wave point of view, if you want to trade Elliott Waves, you want to wait and see what price does in this area. You want to wait for a range to form. Wait for your wave 1 to form and your retracement in 2, for example, or wait for something, proof of resistance, that then shows you price wants to go towards the downside. No? A low probability, mind the words also here, right? Highest probability is taking this high before taking this low. In other words, that's what I write here in between the brackets, 74K between 64K in this case, because that's an invalidation, but also 60K. The alternative scenario, lower probability, just because a regular flat is a lower probability scenario compared to a expanding flat, is that this high is your B, because it touched the 0.9. And the 0.9 is a minimum target for a wave B in a regular flat. It is very unlikely for a wave B in a flat, general flat structure to not take the high, right, creating a double top. And the 0.9 is a regular flat target, and a regular flat is uncommon compared to an expanding flat. So that affects the probabilities, right? We keep it in mind. It's good to know about, but from a probabilities perspective, it can't get the highest probabilities because an expanding flat is a lot more common than a regular flat. So that's number one. And then number two, so that means we're looking for the ABC to the upside in the flat, right? In a bullish scenario, we're looking for the same thing, but then you just label it 1, 2, 3 instead of an ABC, no? And that means that for this too, we want to see some proof of support. We want strength coming in. And at the moment, more locally, we had weakness, right? Because of the double bearish CVD divergence here. Lower high on price, right? Higher high on the CVD on blue here. And also on yellow, So that was the first one. And the second bearish CVD was locally here. Lower high on price. Look at the blue line and look at the cursor, right? Higher high on blue. Bearish CVD divergence. There is absorption of market longs with limit short positions. And therefore, we are moving towards the downside. After hitting resistance, which was the value area high, by the way, of this little range here. If price is losing this support area, there is not much left. Well, and we have a little golden pocket here as well, but there's not much left before hitting the low. And as mentioned, there's only two areas of support here, daily naked point of control and the previous range point of control. It's not too great as these are singular levels, not a lot of confluence here. So yeah, let's see if price then would hit 64, no? But the probabilities are 74K before 60K from an Elliott Wave point of view. And then locally, as we are almost taking the low now, If we look for a wave 2 already in, we wanted to see price hitting this area. Well, we are doing pretty good at the moment to reach that area. So then it's about proof of support, right? Just like with the resistance of the flat, I have no interest to randomly long in a dump. No, I want to see proof of support. Take some time. Patience, patience, patience. It's a scenario, but I need some proof where, hey, is a 1-2 finished and you get another 1-2 and you go up. Nice. We were waiting for price to come down inside this area. We might actually do that during the live stream. But then it's about proof of support. If there's no support, I have no interest. Simple as that. And locally, when we look at the 15-minute chart, right, the most bearish scenario is that this is a 1, 2, and 3 or an A, B, C, which eventually is bullish because that's a correction. But you would count that with a corrective structure being a WXY that is finished. WXY, wave Y over here hitting the 886 from the high of W to the low of X. It's quite uncommon for a wave Y to turn around at the 886. It's quite interesting if that is the case. And if you take a trend-based hit from the low of W to the high of W to the low of X, toggle on the wave Y, you can see that price did not hit the 0.618, which is also very uncommon for a wave Y. Sorry, that was an alarm. Let me turn the speaker off here because there's a couple more that I have around support. Wave Y did not hit the 0.618. Also uncommon for a wave Y, as that is a usually minimum target for your wave Y. The common target is up here, right? Most common target is up here. The 0.618 is common, but usually that's the minimum target. But it has not been reached. So therefore the bullish scenario is a regular flat. A, B, C. C is an impulse to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Target area for your wave C is around the target box. Important if we look for potential interest for a long from an Elliott Wave point of view. Proof of support, but also if we're looking for a wave C, we want to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still need a range. If price is just tanking to the downside here, right, and there's no range, at least the size of your wave 2, there's no interest for me personally. I'm talking to myself here, because for a wave C, we are looking for a 5-wave structure. And after wave 5, that is when the interest is to go back to the upside. If we do not see a close to finish 5-wave structure around the golden pockets and the support area, I mean, there's no interest. Then the probabilities are higher to look for lower prices. So this is how also Elliott Wave knowledge can help you with certain setups, certain trades. When should I enter? You know, also even with feelings of FOMO or that sort of stuff where, shit, you know, I'm scared that price is gonna leave without me. But from an Elliott Wave point of view, it's usually a very good idea to wait for a range to form. Once price starts moving, right, just wait for a range. And the range will give you all the information that you need. If price is just going to dump, no interest, right? We need a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. We almost now finally took this low. So that is nice. We're very close to taking the low now. Key. I want to have a look. And then we can see if there's anything happening here at support, yes or no. Also remember, in 15 minutes, there is some news coming in, 4 p.m. Central European time. So make sure that you trade safe around that hour in 14 minutes now. I mean, arguably, we already have some volatility. So yeah, that's quite nice. Huh? So yeah, and that is pretty much it with regards to the probabilities. So first area of interest, losing that area of interest, which includes the golden pocket. Let me actually put that one on the chart as well. And then we have second area of interest, weaker support though. And then we have the third area of interest. And I simply check the box of proof of support, but from a probabilities perspective, this is the case. And then we just look for proof of support, no? Okay, so yeah, let's enjoy the volatility together, right? And I can share my thoughts on the price action. Hopefully, if there's people here as well that have a certain amount of emotion because of the price moving down, some volume coming in as well, a little bit of impulsivity. Hopefully, by being here, you can experience a little bit of comfort in a way, right? And if you have any questions, then make sure to ask your questions. I'm not a financial advisor, of course, right? But I can at least share my experience, and then hopefully I can help in a way with whatever is up. So that being said, let me put the shit. I don't know how late we started with the analysis. How did oh wait, maybe one of you wrote it with a bit of luck. We started somewhere here. What's up, Beach? Let me actually put 1 second before I go through chat. So this is a question I answered at the beginning, which is 3:11 p.m. and 3:11 p.m. And then we had Johnny English coming in. So I started in between 3:11 and 3:19, which is 30 minutes ago, like 35 minutes ago. That's like starting the analysis at around 10 minutes. I'm not sure if that's the case, but let me Elliott Wave analysis at, shall I do 10, 12? Let me do 12 or 13. Let me do 13. Oops. Okay. What's that? There we go. If 13 minutes, by the way, is not correct, please let me know and I'll adjust it. But I can't see it because the only thing I see is we are streaming for 46 minutes and I can only go back in time. And I can go to, yeah, I started 35 minutes ago. So that would be around 11 minutes. So probably at 13, I was already doing stuff. Anyway, that's fine. I'll put the timestamps in after the live stream. Okay, there we go. Ooh. 10. Ah, Pingax, thank you. Okay, let me remove my own message here. Bloop. Cheers. Thanks, mate. Unpin this, of course. Then live chat. Because I need to bump. There we go. One day, I don't have to bump myself because chat is running too fast. Okay, so very nice, very nice, very nice. Let me quickly have a look up first and then move towards the downside of the chat and then keep up with what we're talking about now. So I answered this question at the beginning. What's up, B channel, by the way? Good to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Johnny English popping in just to say hi and click the like button. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Bean. Appreciate that, man. Ivan Meister, till Monday, last high, then dump to halving. Afterwards, we go up again. Yeah, that would be nice. Like, of course, from a probabilities perspective on the 4 hour and the daily time frames, probabilities are high to take 74K before any move below 60. But it would be very nice during the weekend to continue ranging. And then early next week, get the volatility. And then, of course, the halving is approaching. Would be great to have the dump on the halving. But yeah, we got to wait and see where we are at the end of next week. What would invalidate your 5650 expanded flat scenario? 5650. What would invalidate your probably just expanded flat scenario? Going below is that 64K? The invalidation would be below 64K. Because you're looking for an ABC in the flat, right? A WXY double zigzag where your second wave Y is your ABC. So naturally the invalidation is this low. And the target area for your wave Y is the 1 to the 1.236 is over here, right? The 0.618 in a double zigzag is a lot less relevant. And to reach that area, we're looking for a double, a zigzag. So a zigzag, correction, and then another zigzag. So the invalidation for this is the low at 64K, which makes, in some way, trading with Elliott waves on the higher time frames very relaxed as well, because there's a lot of movement necessary to reach certain levels, right? So this level here, if from an Elliott wave point of view, someone is long and trades a certain scenario, before price is reaching a stop loss, there's so much movement that managing a trade is a lot easier. Because depending on new information coming in, you can adjust stop losses up or down, right? But you have room to play with. You can add to positions, make stop loss shorter as well. And that's what I like also with, so I swing trade Elliott waves, but this is something I like about Elliott waves is it's very chill trading. And sometimes the stop losses are big, right? They are big. They're like 4%, 6%. But if you get moves of 20% or, like who cares? So my first entry was here. Second entry was here. Sold it all here because I had my wedding. My stop loss here was, I believe, like 4% or 5%. But I mean, yeah. So the invalidation is down here from a Elliott wave point of view. The thing in the range is, and that is what's important, is with the potential flat, if price does move up, that's a very important area to observe what's going to happen, also with positions. TP area, at least observing area, potentially even a short area if we see what we want to see. With proof of support at around 69K, you're really looking out for that long, right? I like it too. 69K, yeah, there is interest here for me. Yes, that's correct. But I'm a very patient trader. So no. The United States has said that Iran's attack on Israel will take place today, Friday. I think it's going to be a volatile weekend. Markets like to jump on weekends. What's up, Jay Green? Interesting. I'm not really up to date with everything that's happening there because so there's a lot happening in Europe at the moment. But yeah, let's see what the weekend is going to give us. Also, welcome, by the way, Ivan, Samuel, Elia, Jake. How are you doing, guys? Uchiha or Uchiha. I think price will be dropping because of the halving. That would be nice. Yeah, but I would prefer to then take the highs first and then get the drop. Greed and FOMO, panic and fear. That's what I would like. That's correct, Thought Drifter. All I see is a bearish rising wedge. Let me know where you see it. I'd be interesting to at least put it on the chart. What's up, Lucian? Adrian, welcome. Jay Green. Not a nice how Bitcoin is having fun. Bettina, how you doing? Adrian. DXY is pumping. Next car, what's up? Yeah, didn't check DXY, but yeah, they are related, of course. So Jeremy Vasquez, good morning, my brother. How you doing? Nice to see you back here. Who recognizes the surname, by the way? Think of series. Think of a series. This is what we spoke about, hey? Remember last time? Thanks to my friend who gifted my membership. What's up, Crypto Aman? Welcome back, man. I think that was Jeroen. Jeroen gifted you the membership. Hola, will we drop under 70k today? We're already below 70k now, so I guess that answers the question. Currently my favorite as well. Hola. What's up, Shay Hoffman? How are you doing? Regular flat is the same target as an expanding. No, a regular flat common target is the 1 to the 1.236 to the downside. So an expanding flat has two 1.618s, a trend-based and a fib. And a regular flat has the trend-based 1 to the 1.236. For people interested, messing up my second screen. Expanding flat, A, B, C, a little bit bigger. A, B, C, trend-based fib. Oh wait, and then of course let me make it very clear, and then we do that. And then you take a trend-based fib from the high to the low of A to the high of B. You toggle on the 618, 1.618, wave C expanding flat. Toggle these off. These are not relevant at the moment. And then the second one is fib from the low to the high. Toggle on your wave C. This is the area of interest for your wave C. This is your most common target area for C in a expanding flat. And then in a regular flat, you have your A, B, C. Usually wave B does take the high of your wave A, right? It's uncommon for a flat not to do so. But still, the target for your wave B is the 0.9 to the, where is it? 0.9 to the 105. And your target for C is a trend-based fib from the low to the high to the low. And then it is the 1 to the 1.236 as your common target area. The 0.618 is just for a running flat, so that's why it's in there. And that creates a sideways ranging corrective movement for a regular flat. So you just nip the high, you just nip the low, and then like it's swing failure pattern, and continuation pretty much. What's up, Stason2K16? How you doing, Stason? What's up? Hope you have a good last day before the weekend hits. I noticed that every time almost you are live, price is dropping. I know, like, you know, it's just the way it is. Influence in the market. Everyone's selling when I go live. I install a lot of fear and panic and drama and Nishit, pleasure, my friend. Appreciate it. You calm me down. That's nice to hear, Shay. Never panic. Never panic. And sometimes look away from your screen as well. You know, that you're still actually like in a room and, oh, look at the... there we go. That's better. It's almost like there's a cut because of the sun. The sun is... It's a very sunny day in the Netherlands here. How low can we expect today? The biggest support in this area is around 69k, which is what I have on the chart, the target box here and the golden pocket. But yeah, these are questions that are very difficult, of course, to estimate. How low can we expect? I mean, in a worst case scenario, you're going to go below 64k. Right, but then that's not the highest probability from an Elliott Wave point of view. So if you lose this, so I like to take it step by step, level by level, also from an Elliott Wave point of view. So if price would move down, this is your support area number 1, losing the golden pocket here and 67, right? This low becomes important, where your support is 66.9k daily naked point of control, right? So it's like level to level. Oh, if people ask, the value area high you see is the value area high of this piece of the chart. So that's like we've been bonking against it for like 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what are the chances we are already at, you mean C on the 4-hour chart, right? I mean, the probabilities for a regular flat will only increase if price is actually moving below 64k. It's just you want the invalidation to hit, because when you look at, and also with regards to CVD, so locally we had a double bear CVD here, but in this range so far, it's been bullish CVDs continuously. And the bear CVD almost played out now, actually, locally here. Which also, of course, provides a certain probability to the scenarios of upside before downside. And the invalidation for the expanding flat is 64k. And that is where a regular flat comes into play. And this is where trade management, because of course we have different scenarios, but it's about finding the confluence between scenarios. Where are the invalidations? Are they at the same place? Okay, that's interesting, right? Because then we have a potential stop loss area. Where can I then enter? So, and it's no problem if a stop loss is hit. You just need to know what your next area of interest is and how probabilities change per scenario. So if a stop loss is hit, or if price takes 64k, or whatever your trade plan is, if 64k is hit, the next area is 60k, right? And then we wait for proof of support and that. So currently, the already being in the wave C does not have highest probability. The probabilities are higher to take 74k before 64k. And 64k is the invalidation for the bullish scenario and the flat. What do you think about ING? I'm actually not sure if we did this in the altcoin stream, but in this particular stream, I won't do altcoins. I will do, by the way, an altcoin stream one a month, where we for a couple of hours go through altcoins. So if you go to my channel, for everyone that's here, we do altcoins here. It's mainly Bitcoin, right? Clearly. But once a month, what I will do is I will do a bigger altcoin stream. And I did one in February, which was really fun, very long, because we wanted to set a record, which we did. It's the longest stream I've done so far. So that, check that box. We won't do 6.5 hour streams every time, but we will do, like every month, we'll do altcoins. The community will vote, and then we'll pick the alts. And sometimes stocks will be in there as well. And I'm thinking about how to approach it. What day of the month would work best? Mr. Sultan, how you doing? Welcome from MCT Oman. Mr. Sultan or Oman, or whatever the name is. Good to have you here, and thanks for the like. A like from Israel as well. TA Israel. Shay Hoffman, stay safe. Nishit, congrats. Thank you. Samuel, thanks a lot for the comments. Pleasure. Samuel, I have another question. If we're doing a deeper 2 right here, how does that change the probabilities of not being in an expanding flat and rather already impulsive? Let me clean up the chart a little bit. So with regards, I only mentioned this in one video before. And that is this. I don't know if you, I'm not sure, of course, when people started subscribing or following the channel, but I made this video, must be on the 10th of April or yesterday, where I spoke about this fib time. And if we look for the zigzag in a flat, right, an ABC, or an impulse in a 1, 2, 3, it's actually most common for a corrective structure to end after the 382 and not before the 382. Now, that doesn't mean that a corrective structure makes a new low per se, right? Depends on the corrective structure that you get. But time-wise, from a probabilities perspective, it is less uncommon, to have a correction finishing before the 382. It's by far most common to have it finish after the 382, even for a wave 2. So the fib time is taken from the low to the high. So with the question, if we go for a deeper 2 or a deeper B, or we continue this range over the weekend, right, it doesn't negatively affect the probabilities for your expanding flat or the impulsive move towards the upside, as it's actually very normal to end a corrective structure after the 382. Now the weekend ends, the weekend ends here. So this is where Monday starts, which is between the 1 and the 2, which is perfectly fine, both for a wave 2 as well as a wave B. If you end a corrective structure somewhere here, if you get a weekend range in this area or maybe lower, that's perfectly no problem. But yeah, absolutely normal. So yeah. I tend to not like show everything every time because of repetition, but fib time is important there. Yeah. But by all means, you know, we observe this, the support number 1 here losing this, and yeah, it becomes a bit. We have a daily naked point of control and a range point of control here, but other than that, there's not too much great support. Did we actually hit the golden pocket? Yes, we did. Okay. The reason I check it is if price moved to the upside just before hitting the golden pocket, it's actually quite common for price to come back and actually hit it. Elia, maybe just starting a wave 4 with the 886 hit in 3. Nice to take lows for a fifth on the 15 minute. Just starting a wave 4 with 886 hit in 3. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean. Maybe just starting a wave 4, which is a range, with 886 in 3. I don't know what this is. 886 in 3. We have an 886 here. We have the bigger 886 all the way up there. Nice to take lows for a fifth on the 15 minute. I guess you are talking about this. And then take these lows on the 15 minute. Yeah. With regards probably to what I explained earlier, you want to see a 5-wave structure if we're looking for a wave C, right? So if we already arrive here without seeing a range this size, of course you can range here and then take the low and continue, right? 4, this is then your 4, this is then your 5, and then you continue up for a regular flat, right? A, B, and then your C ending continuation. But we are simply waiting for a range. That's pretty much all we're doing. Now, price is dumping. Just let it dump till it creates a range. And once it creates a range, that's when we know more. That would be a good educational video to make, explaining which waves have which... or shall I say a video I need to watch. Actually, I already have it. However, that is in the gold section. So that's the gold membership, where gold membership is pretty much the Elliott Wave course. Like all my brain is in there from an Elliott Wave perspective. And there I have videos where I go through all of my fib templates with all scenarios, explaining all the targets, what is common, what is rare, what's uncommon. I also have a video where I speak about all the fib times, and yeah. I do need to update the fib time because I like to use different fibs now. Like I have different templates, but yeah, it's pretty much all in there. And most of the people easily finish the content in 1 month. So then it's pretty much most people in gold are member for 1 month, and then they either go silver, diamond, or quit. Re-entry? I don't know, but depends on your plan, of course. Bitcoin dominance is pumping. You said you had a 4% in general. Are you swing trading? Yes. I don't do spot. I swing trade on futures, and my standard leverage is 5. Koens, for leading diagonal of wave 1 or wave A, what is the subwave of wave 2 and wave B? You're talking about the scenario I have on my chart, right? Samuel Lopez, thanks for joining bronze. Thanks for the support, dude. Appreciate it. Cheers. Cheers. I think you're talking about... So the thing is, I don't have... It would be good to mention a date, because I guess you're talking about this and this, no? At least that's my... Dimjack? Did Dimjack write something here? What's up, Victor? The subwave of wave 2 and B. For a leading diagonal of wave 1 or A, which I guess is you're talking about this. Leading expanding diagonal. Subwave of wave 2 and wave B, which I guess you're then talking about this here, no? Bullish, WXY double zigzag. Continuation. Bearish, ABC. Continuation. I mean, in the end, it's both bullish, but yeah. And this support is very important. Losing this, yeah, and the thing I have with support is there's not too great support here. I only have a daily naked point of control and the range point of control, so I'd be very curious to see that if price does come down there, what it does. But best case scenario, price is simply holding. And then you have a double zigzag WXY, because actually counting this as an impulse is quite a pain in the ass. It's a lot of 3 wavy structures. There's a lot of overlap, which feels very corrective on lower time frames. I think I saw Stuba. I'm not sure if Stuba is here, but in Discord, I think he had a expanding diagonal count. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because people in Discord that are here probably know Stuba's count. I think he had a expanding diagonal type of count here, something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or I don't know exactly what it was, but it's very messy. So an expanding diagonal is a rare structure, so I don't really like to have these as option 1. So when there's a lot of overlap, then I prefer looking for corrective structures first, till invalidation. We have a new one. Gold. Oh, Matthias. There you go. Went up a notch to the top step. What's up, dude? Send me an email. I'll get you sorted. You know how it works because you were a member already. So, cheers, Matthias. Hopefully you're going to learn lots. And also don't forget to ask questions in the weekly live streams that we do in Gold as well. Right, you can ask questions there, and I'm happy to answer anything. So make sure to send me an email and be there. But cheers, Matthias. Every time, by the way, I think of Matthias, I think like that you were sick in Brazil. I remember like a month ago. I don't know why that is what I remember. You know what I mean. Is there any time boundary on flat ABC? Because my B on charts is going to be very lengthy. Wave Bs are allowed to be lengthy in a flat ABC. Wave C is not allowed to be twice the length of A plus B. Right, that significantly lowers the probabilities of it being a wave C. It's not a hard invalidation, but probability-wise, wave C is not allowed to be twice the length of A plus B. But it's very normal for a wave B to be a couple of times A. Because B's in nature can be very complex, just like a wave X. If you have a WXY, you measure wave W against Y, but you don't really like W against X because X can be stretched, X can be longer. However, most commonly, wave X and wave B are zigzag structures, and a zigzag tends to be short. But once you get into double zigzag scenarios, then you have a WXY where the X can take long, and then you have in wave Y you have an ABC, so then of course your B can be long as well. So it's you prefer to do measure W against Y, measure AB against C, and generally the general consensus, I suppose, for wave relationships is the fib that I have here. So let me put this one on. So the moment a wave that you're counting is going to get 4 to 5 times, or I should actually say around 5 to 6 times longer in time, that is when the probabilities are significantly moving down, because the structure is getting very big compared to the other structure you're measuring against. So a 5 or 6 fib time makes it look so big compared to structure A that you measure against, that the probabilities really go down. As Elliott waves is also about the right look. It's even in the book of Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Prechter, where the right look is one of these subchapters, which has to do with time as well. They also talk about time in the book, not in a lot of detail, but yeah, when you have a scenario where a certain structure is much bigger, you change the count preferably. What's up, taking care of business? Are we in wave 4 or wave C in the smaller degree 1, 2? Are we in a wave 4? 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the smaller degree 1, 2? I don't get the second part. Are we in wave 4 of wave C? Depends on your wave C. But if you're talking local stuff, right? Where in the smaller degree, so that must be local. So I would guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, who's the question? Alexander. So I would guess that if you talk about the potential, yeah, there's the potential for a 4 here. Smaller degree 1, 2. This would be my only degree though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a regular flat, and then that's the bullish scenario, no? Locally, but we want to see proof of support, and taking out the speed of a move to the downside is step number 1, no? And then every time a range forms, we can reassess probabilities. Last question. Hi everyone, hello Koen. What's up, Bina? How you doing, eh? What is wrong with YouTube notification? I just got lucky seeing that Koen is online. I don't know, it's up to YouTube. Notifications are toggled on. However, on YouTube, you can only get 3 notifications in a period of 24 hours, which means the only way for YouTube to give you a notification as a viewer for every piece of content, as I upload 3 times a day, is if I upload at exactly the same minute every video every day. The moment one video is a minute too late, there's going to be 4 videos in a 24-hour period. And that means that one video doesn't give you a notification. So what I do is I just don't care about it, because it's impossible to have to continue doing this. So on my channel, of course, what I write is morning video, afternoon live stream, evening live stream. And that also gives me flexibility with other stuff I do. So morning is still 11, 12, but usually the video is online at 8 a.m., Afternoon live stream, that's afternoon period, evening period, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a reason why you don't get a notification. However, on Discord, I always tag team. I'm not sure if you are in Discord. If you are, you can opt in for the reaction role, which is team. You click this purple button here in the reaction role. And then every time I post something, I tag the team, right, which is all of you. And then you get a notification in Discord. So even if you don't get a YouTube notification, you'll get notified. Have you ever been disappointed in Elliott Waves at the beginning of your career? Was it Oh yeah. Oh yes. I even quit trading for 2 months because I was pissed off at Elliott Waves. I couldn't make it work. That was in my first year. Oh yeah. Have you ever been disappointed in Elliott Waves? Yes. Yes. I remember very well. October, November 2021, the 2 months where I was inactive because I just could not get the hang of Elliott Waves. I've been studying relentlessly. I have the notebooks and everything behind me. I made drawings and writing down and trying to implement it. But I still had difficulty, especially understanding WXY against ABC. I labeled all corrective structures as an ABC. I never used WXY. Neither did I use WXYXZ, and yeah, I got so pissed off that I quit for 2 months. But the thing is that once you start learning Elliott Waves, welcome to the rabbit hole. You'll never get out of it. Because the moment you open your chart, you start counting. Like your eyes just go like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, correct. And then you're like, oh, damn, I got to learn it. Okay, so you get back at it. And oh, yeah, yes, so very much. And I guess that's the story for becoming good in pretty much anything. It's very much ups and downs. But oh, yeah, that was the deepest down I had in my Elliott Wave learning. And also, I didn't have a teacher. So I was by myself, just studying everything from websites, not asking questions as I couldn't really. So and it's not always easy if you don't really have a community that's focused on Elliott Waves. Like in the group now, in Discord, we have a whole community doing Elliott Wave stuff, right? And it's very active. Oh, wait, and I bet there's a scam shit in here. 1 second. Yeah, let me quickly do this. And see you later. The only reason I realized there might be a scammer is because of the amount of white channels here, which usually is not the case. These ones are usually white as these are very active. But all of these, not so much. So he must have just come in because just before the live stream, I checked for scammers. So nice moment. But yeah, so in Discord, of course, we have a community that is very much involved with Elliott Waves, and then I'm happy to help and answer questions. And I hope it speeds up the learning process of people interested in Elliott Waves, and to help them realize they're not alone in the journey. Because the only, like, now I may look like, yo, this guy is really good in Elliott Waves, and I see the comments on YouTube. It's very flattering, of course, but I started where all of you start if you just begin. And it's no joke. But I already have, by now, 3 years and 2 months of experience in Elliott Waves, right? And I started to get really good at about the 2-year mark. Grinding Elliott Waves every day, except for the 2 months that I had a break. Yeah. I don't know the 886 here. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the analysis that's most important, I suppose, Bina. Mr. Seep Koens, please take a quick look at Discord. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Seep. Lol, I saw it now. Sorry I was late. Need to keep up. Not focusing on altcoins. We will do specific altcoin streams like I did earlier. And we're going to plan to do that once a month. But we focus on Bitcoin here at the moment. I've seen on your Insta you've been talking in Munster. Yep, I did TEDx in Munster in your theater. 900 people were in the audience when I was speaking there for TEDx. Yeah, it was great, and my wife was there as well. At that moment in time, she was my girlfriend. We had a relationship for 1 year and a bit, I believe. And yeah, it was fun. We walked around as well, a little bit of sightseeing. Is under the Bugamas. Cheers again, Samuel and Matthias. Welcome. Well, still in the southern Albigenica. Pleasure, Adam. And no worries, no worries. Take it easy. Time for your frankness regarding leverage. No problem. What's up, Victor? How you doing? Andy, welcome as well. Big Ball Andy, selling the bike. Yeah. He's got a great bike, the Phaser. Oh no, not the Phaser. What am I saying? That's a friend of mine that has a Phaser. The Yamaha, what, the thingy. God, I wrote it to you in the comments. Now I forgot the name of the bike. Anyway. 6 steps, please. Andrew B. Oh, wait. B Channel. At it again. What's up? Thanks, B Channel. Very, very kind of you, man. Very, very kind of you. B Channel, like, keeping up his leading position as a gifter on the channel. It's incredible. Thanks for your... Look, B Channel, I always say thanks. I have no idea, like, you know, that's the only thing I can do from a screen here. But just know that I really, you know, value your support. And also the community, as you help the community move forward. So, Andrew, send me an email. You know how it goes because you have the silver badge. So it's your second time. Send me an email with your usernames and stuff, and I'll get you sorted, okay? Bump you up to silver. So cheers, B Channel. And also, Tibetan Monk, thanks for joining bronze. Thanks for the support, dude. Appreciate it. Yamaha FZ, exactly. Not Phaser. I mean FZ Phaser, I suppose. I was close. The 6 steps. Okay. I'll keep it short, right? Because, yeah. 6 steps. What he means, Andrew, is if you want to have a higher probability in becoming a profitable, consistently profitable trader, there is 6 steps that I very, very, very much recommend to go through. It will take time, but if you're in this game for the long run and you want to quit your job and make this your job, you're not in it for like a year of gambling. You're in it for 10 years, maybe 20 years, whatever. So you can put time in these 6 steps for a very nice time after because of consistently being profitable. So 6 steps. Number 1, try as many free tools as you can. On TradingView, I recommend, or Atas or external softwares that give you free stuff. But TradingView is a good place to start. All the free tools here, all the free indicators. Step number 2, find your favorites, right? The ones you enjoy using the most based on your experience. Track statistics on them. Get an Excel sheet out, write some statements, and then build statistics on those statements, right? A statement can be, I have the golden pocket here on my chart at the moment, right? If a golden pocket is hit, right? Do I get a bounce? Yes, no, percentage, right? Is the bounce 1%? That's a new statement. Is the bounce 2%? Is the bounce 5%? You collect data. And you can also do it, if I would have traded it, put the stop at the 6.6. Would I have been stopped out? Yes, no. At the 7.86? Yes, no. At the 8.86? Yes, you know, so all that data, collect data. That's step number 2. Step number 3, combine some of your favorite tools that show some promising statistics and build statistics on the combination. So now you're building a strategy because now you start trying to combine stuff, right? Step number 4 is tweaking and adjusting. Add a tool and remove a tool. Build more statistics. And now what you're trying to do is improve your win rate or your risk-reward ratio. Step number 5 is start trading your strategy with a low amount of money and work on your trading psychology. And step 6 is increasing your budget, increasing your portfolio size slowly to get used to bigger losses, because getting used to bigger winners is easy. There you go, the 6 steps. Do this and you have a good probability to get there. And these are the 6 steps that I have gone through, by the way. This is exactly my path. Like I've been through every single step. And pretty much after you finish the 6 steps, you're always in step 4 because you're always tweaking and adjusting. What's up, Rodney? How you doing, Mr. Monkey? No idea here. What would determine whether we are still in impulse in B rather than being already in impulse of macro wave 3? We only, Samuel, great question, by the way, but you only know that once price moves up out of this range. We can't say that in advance. Of course, there is probably, we can and we can't. So first of all, this area from a flat perspective, right, is important. Question, are we in a 3 or are we in a B? In other words, hit and reject, or hit and continue. What I like to do as a trader, Elliott Wave wise, is observe the reaction, right? Because in both cases, you take the high. And then it's about trade management. So this is actually a management question for me. If price hits this area, depending on the reaction, I might TP, I might close, I might go short, I might not TP at all and look for higher, right? However, if we are looking for an impulse of these lows in a 1, 2, and eventually 3 and much higher prices, it means that we have to end a corrective structure over here. And we can only really do this when we think about either a running triangle, A, B, C, D, E, which is very ugly because of your wave A being incredibly short in time compared to your other waves, while in a triangle, the proportions between the waves are important. And generally, wave A is one of the longer ones, right? And you go smaller and smaller and smaller. So that has a negative impact on this being the low, right? That's one of those scenarios. I've also seen triangles like this, where this is your A, B, C, D, E. But now look how cramped your CD is, how especially E, how small, how condensed it is. Again, proportions, right? When we look at the chart, if this is your A, B, C, and then you have D, E, look at your E. Your E it's like nothing, you know what I mean? So it's not looking that great to end a structure here. However, there is probabilities for it to have there is a chance that it did end here and you get continuation. That is why we have the flat scenario and the bullish scenario. And we just observe what price does. Because in a bull market, there is no way to put limit short orders here. That's just, you try to wreck yourself, right? There's probabilities that are higher to take the high before possibly at a later stage the low, but take the high. And then based on the reaction, are we going to look for a wave B or continuation? So that would be the answer to that question. I'm very much a reactive trader, I suppose, as well. B channel, cheers, mate. Andrew, welcome to the club once again. What's up, Charles Watson? Hope you're doing well. Just passed my funder. Let's go. Congratulations. Very, very nice. Hopefully you used a trustworthy funded company, as they're falling like flies, I believe. I'm not sure what the status is in the funded area, but yeah, they have a bit of a tough time, no? But congratulations, Chance. It shows that whatever you're doing well. You went through phase 1 and 2, I suppose, and then now you are funded, and now it really begins, no? Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it, man. I think I was getting like an email notification for this, for YouTube, like going live. I've never heard about that one yet. Cediums. What else we should plan altcoin stream soon? What say? Yeah, maybe this month, no? I mean, April is still long, so could pick a day. It's on the planning. Jeroen, what's up? How are you doing? How do you like my ICTTA combined with Elliott Waves? You can combine anything. So I also use other TA, and if ICT works for you, then that's props. Yeah, you should use it. You should use it. So in my case, I like volume horizontals, point of controls. I like Fibonacci. I mean, Fibonacci is kind of you use Elliott waves with fibs, but I like volume levels. I like time frame horizontals. Right. I like volume profile. So I also use other stuff. You want to learn Elliott waves this summer. You got a nice goal there. You got a nice goal. Elliott waves is great. It's just a lot. And I guess in a way that is what scares people off, is the amount of information. You never had any kind of mentor? No. Elliott waves I learned it from the website that I link in the description. Oh, it makes me think I have to remove that second link because it doesn't work anymore. 1 second, let me immediately get that done in my upload defaults. Somehow they removed that website or whatever. It's not working anymore. So more information. So this is for videos that I'm adjusting now. I will adjust it. I have to change the description for live streams at a later stage, I think. Or can I just edit my description right now? Oh yeah, I can do that right now. There we go. Detailed Elliott waves. That's now the only link. So yeah, that's the detailed Elliott wave link in the description. That's a great one in my opinion. Yeah. I'm not focusing on altcoins in this stream. That would be during the altcoin stream. We can talk about all the alts. How to use CFD properly? Go to my channel. Watch this video. CFD divergence beginner's guide. How to use. I go in detail on how to use CFD divergences. It's also the most viewed video ever on this channel. We're almost reaching 20K. It's pretty insane. So that would be my and also in Discord, if you go to Good to Know channel, then you have the one pager here with info about CFD. I also share my template in case you want to use the template, and the website that I use is here as well. So all the info is there. Koens, if a wave 1 is long and wave 2 is a complex double zigzag, does that say anything about the pending wave 3? No. The only thing it matters with regards to wave 3 is your extension. So how deep is wave 2? Because how deep wave 2 is has an effect on the targets of 3. Because the 1.618 generally is a minimum target for wave 3. The deeper wave 2 is, the lower the 1.618 because of your trend-based fib extension pool. But what a wave 2 is in a double zigzag, or no, that doesn't matter, because wave 2 is related to wave 4, rule of alternation. So if wave 2 is a complex double zigzag, or it is a zigzag family structure, so it's very likely to still be short in time, deep in price, then wave 4 has a higher probability of being shallow and long. This week, it's mostly just observing the S&P 500 and knowing the range of it. Yeah, everyone has their style, so people like to look at the S&P 500 to get a better idea of where price is and might head to. That's a good idea. I thought the first step to be a successful trader was to blow your account, so you'd learn a lesson. Believe me, they will learn lessons. But I don't think blowing an account is the way you have to learn lessons, of course. I know it's a bit of a sarcastic comment, but I've never blown an account. My first year was a small loss, but I've never blown an account. But I learned many lessons. Do you think this whole structure is a wave 4 of a larger 3, or simply a 4 with loss 5? 4 of a larger 3. Or another wave 2 and a triple 1-2 from the low. That would be most bullish. Yeah. By the way, 4 p.m. of course, we had the news, but I guess we already had volatility, so not too much has happened. Price is still moving the same direction as it did. Holy moly. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about as well too. And then I gotta go, guys. So 10K is coming up, okay? Probably before the end of the month, probability wise, we're gonna hit 10K. So I already have one surprise, which is for everyone. It's like a big community surprise, I suppose. And if you kept your eyes open when I opened Discord, you already have an idea of what that may be. And number two is yesterday, people mentioned giveaways, which of course, that's no problem. I can do memberships and stuff. But I was also like, yeah, maybe something that people can actually hold because we all communicate online. Would be great if I can actually send something to people. So I've been checking out. So I have never done anything with merch, but I'd be interested in getting a few hoodies and then sending the hoodies and then put a logo on or something like this. And people said they like it. But if you, viewer, have a website where I can do this in a very low amount, make sure to let me know. I've already done a little bit of reading. So there's a couple of websites that at least I know about now. Teespring, Icon Printing, Merch Labs, Killer Merch, Bonfire, Fanjoy, Captivate, Represent, Printify, Printful. But I don't really have experience with merch, and it's not like I'm going to have a shop, at least not yet, maybe in the future if people want. But it's just some unique things that I can send to people so they get something they can grab instead of all online stuff that people can keep. We have hit the 886 already. Take 10K sooner or later. Ah, I see what you did there. 8,860. Yeah. Yeah, correct. We're at 9,330. I see just now, yeah. So, yeah. And that's like, so last week on Wednesday, I came back from South Africa and the count was 8,813 when I came back. So it's incredible that in the first week of being back, first week and a few days now, of course, 2 days extra, it's plus 517 people joining. It's nuts. It's nuts. Okay, everyone. Yeah, we've done the analysis. We've done some proper chatting and Q&A, but I gotta move. I have to, that's my next thing. I have to answer some DMs, some tags and some stuff. So that's on the agenda. And then I have to do some sports as well. Gonna work on my baseline for running, doing a slow and bit longer run, about 8 kilometers an hour, 7 minutes per kilometer, plus minus, to work on the base. My usual average speed is a bit around like 12. My comfortable running is like 12 kilometers an hour. And then on long distance, I go down to like 10. But I want to work on my baseline. So yeah, I gotta go for a slow run, then make a YouTube video, and then I have some other stuff to do. So yeah, there we are. Another day, another live stream. And tomorrow, I probably will be live tomorrow. My wife is coming back from abroad and she has a long flight. So she will come back at like 11-ish, I guess, on the airport. I might pick her up, and then in the afternoon, I guess a live stream is going to be there. And then we'll see how the weekend goes, no? So, yeah. Sunrise, what's up? How you doing, eh? Otter gang, give my greetings to Alex. So, yo, cheers, guys. Remember to stretch. Yeah, I need to work on my stretching, man, random name. I swear, like, I love doing sports and stuff, but, and just stretching in general, get more flexible. I never really spend time stretching. So, hey, you know what we're looking for locally? If you don't know, then check the analysis that started at the beginning of this live stream. I will put the timestamps in the moment the live stream goes offline. What's up, Flotty? Joining at the end. The moment the live stream goes offline, I'll immediately put the timestamps in. So if you wait a couple of minutes, you know exactly what happens where. Introduction, Elliott Wave analysis start, and chatting and Q&A start. And yeah, let's see what price is going to give us, right? We are prepared. We know what to look for. We know to be patient. We want to wait for a range. 69K is important support. Losing the golden pocket, you know, 67K becomes close. No? So yeah, let's see what happens. No? So cheers. Thanks everyone for being here. Have a good day, morning, evening, night, wherever you live in the world. And I'm going to see you at the next one.